Hey, this is Chris Fraser again, back with you to talk about ADHD and what it really is, a difficult time paying attention to boring crap. That's right. Hunter type people are folks that are the leftover hunters from our ancient ancestors who all had to be ADHD to constantly scan their environment, switch from one thing to the next very quickly or they're dead. You didn't choose to be ADHD. You didn't choose to be a hunter. You didn't choose to be born into this time of COVID where we have to do quite a bit of online learning that is very difficult for us ADD hunter type people. Paying attention to boring crap is very hard. And a bored hunter was a dead hunter. So let me tell you this, a tool today is mindfulness training. How to train your attention. Seriously, nobody ever taught me how to do it. They said, Chris, pay attention. Put me in study carrels in the back of the classroom where I felt stupid because I was the only kid back there in the study carrel. And you put a kid by themselves, ADD, I was screwing around. I was thinking about space. I was looking at the spiders crawling over up on the roof, on the ceiling above the teacher. I was looking out the window. So what can you do? What's this mindfulness training stuff? It's attention training. It's learning to notice when your mind's drifting, which it does for everybody, but when you're ADD and you have this brilliant superpower mind, it jumps all over the place all the time. And the thing is we think it's our fault. I remember thinking, if I just could try harder, if I could just focus more, maybe I wouldn't be this way. You didn't choose to be ADD. Neither did I. We didn't choose to be born into a time where we have to focus on boring crap longer than any other time in history. Any other time. So I think I told you the story about my friend in high school. We looked at each other and I said, John, if we lived in the time of hunting and gathering folks, we'd be king of the hill. But here in school where you have to sit still and pay attention to boring crap, that's not your choice. It's not your interest. We're in hell. It's so difficult. And my friend now is one of the top chefs in New York City. And he found what he loves. He loves cooking. I remember when he discovered it. You know, it was on fire. He'd come over to your house and he would try to take anything you had and make a gourmet meal out of it. It was amazing. So hunters have strengths and abilities. But a lot of times in this farmer's world, we are just so frustrated because we have to do this stuff that doesn't have any meaning or purpose or interest. So I'm going to talk to you about mindfulness training. How do we focus on that thing that stinks? So if we think about playing video games, playing Mario Kart or whatever you're interested in, you know, Minecraft even, you know, you're just sitting there, it stimulates, interesting. There's a lot of things happening, you know, and it's on, it's rewarding, there's next level, you know, there's Super Smash Brothers where you're playing against other people, and, you know, it's interesting. So what do we do when we're trying to do boring crap? Our mind's falling asleep. All of a sudden, you know, folks try to put us on medication so they can stimulate our brain so we can pay attention to boring crap, you know. But when we come off of that, we're like have stomach aches. You can't focus. Afterwards, you're all jittery, you know, and you're anxious and you can't sleep. That stinks, man. I want to teach alternatives. What can you do instead of that? You know, so you can use your strengths and abilities. It's not your fault. You didn't choose it. You know, it served a function. There's a reason we're ADHD. It used to help us, you know, in the wild when we had to like constantly be scanning for saber-tooth tiger, oh crap, something's going to bite me, you know. There's people who didn't, were dead, man. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is this mindfulness training stuff. It just means paying attention to paying attention. It means noticing when you're not focusing and you're like, yeah, I freaking try that, you know, what do you think? I'm trying my best. So the other thing is when you notice yourself not noticing, not paying attention, instead of beating yourself up. And sometimes I know we do get rough stuff from our parents and other people telling us, you know, pay attention. Why are you always fooling around? Stop doing that. Put that down. You know, what are you doing with your switch underneath the table as you're trying to do schoolwork? Why do you have the ear pod in listening to music, you know, when you're supposed to be paying attention? Because you're trying to feel like you're alive, you know. And so taking a second to do something right now. Where's your feet? Wiggle your toes. All right? Notice your feet. You're training your attention right now. Notice what your butt's sitting on. All right? You know, Made me think if you had gas, there's that ADHD mind of mine. So notice your hands, what they're touching. All right? Notice one thing in your room. What color is it? Notice another thing in your room. What shape is it? We're training our attention right now. So one of the simple thing you can do is when you notice yourself not paying attention, that's success, because it means you notice your mind is here, noticing that a spider in my basement instead of the video I'm shooting. That's success. At that time, you have a choice to bring your attention back. It's a lot of different ways, a million different ways. In these videos, I'm going to teach you a lot of different ways to train yourself to bring your attention back. But when you notice, that's a time, instead of beating yourself up, is to get curious. Okay, my mind went there. Where does it need to be? Even if it doesn't want to be, it needs to be on this video or on this screen I'm watching with the teacher doing her lecture for online school. So bringing your attention back, and a simple thing you can do, one of a million, is bringing yourself back to your sense of touch. Under your desk, it's like a sobriety test. Where are you? Here. What time is it? Now. Now, now, now. Seems strange, right? So taking a deep breath. Now. Now, because you can feel this. It's bringing you right here. You can't touch your finger tomorrow or yesterday. It's right now. Where's life happen? Right here. With ADHD, it's hard because our mind, and all people are drifting, but especially us, because we have these superpowers. Some of the most brilliant people in the world, most inventors have ADHD. Einstein, Nikola Tesla, on and on and on. They'd even do, Einstein called them thought experience. He's daydreaming, creative. But then how do we bring that daydream back to here, now? Seems sort of crazy, right? But I got your attention because I'm doing this goofy finger thing. But even when you're driving in the car, your mind's drifting now, because it's important. If you're not paying attention, you're screwed. You get a speeding ticket, you crash. So this is just to introduce you to some of the basic attention training. I'm going to teach you so much more. But when we slow down, we learn how to stop the Ferrari mind with bicycle brakes. It's like this is how we hit the brakes. You're breathing. Also, when we're distracted or we're getting frustrated, another mindfulness thing. Bring your attention back to your breath. Breathe in 3, out 3. And then I'm smiling because usually when we're bored, we're frustrated. And so when you smile, I call it the shit-eating grin. Excuse my language, crap-eating grin, whatever you want. But when you smile, it sends a message to your brain that you're not under attack. That's just a crazy, boring moment. And it relaxes your brain and body because it says, we're okay. It's like the Mona Lisa smile. She's smiling. And there's an interesting story about that. She's not smiling to cover up over her emotion. She's smiling to acknowledge both the sweet and the sad, the positive and the negative. I think she might have farted, and Leonardo da Vinci is like, ooh, and she's like, I don't want to smile really big because I did it. So smiling as you breathe in, as you breathe out, you're centering. It's like centering breathing. It calms you down. It centers you. Seems crazy, but give it a try. And your mind's going to be like, this is stupid. You're maybe even doing this. Since we can't see inside each other's minds, you might be, this is stupid. What's this guy talking about? He's crazy. Give it a try. We're not looking for perfect. We're looking for better. It's like anything. As you train your brain up, you will notice, be able to bring it back and drop the crap stick. Why am I suck? Why can't I pay attention? Because we can pay attention to what we love. And so when you get done watching this, if you've watched it this far, you may not have, may have said this guy's nuts or stupid, or you might say this is brilliant and this really resonates with me. This really touches my heart, makes sense to me. Write down what your superpowers are. Everybody has abilities. When I was a kid, I don't know. I could climb trees. I could climb out of my crib. I could do stuff with my body. I could walk early. Some people have superpowers with animals. They can figure out what's wrong with the animal and even pet animals that usually like growl at people. Some people are brilliant creatively. I mean, like with their creativity, they can do art, they can sing, they can just hear notes and sing. You know, other people are great at math or engineering kind of stuff, or Lego masters. And some people are just natural gamers. You know, some people have this ability to, you know, read other people really well. There's so many gifts. Write down your superpowers, because you don't become a success focusing on what you suck at. You just don't. You just really don't. So our strengths and our ability to use our strengths are really what help us. And when we're doing this goofy stuff that's boring, if we can find meaning in it to help us bridge that gap to that place where we want to go in our life, even if it's really difficult, when we have meaning and it's what we love, ADD, we can focus on the hunt, man. We can go without food. Your house can blow up. You know, the world could explode, and you can still be on there doing that thing you loved. Your mom could like have her hair catch on fire and running downstairs, but you love it. You won't even notice it because you'll be so focused. So I want you to know that this mindset of being a hunter in a farmer's world, and that we can train our attention and not beat ourselves up when we fall. And we can start again and find our compass. That's what we love. That's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. And I want to help you do it. This is just the beginning. So thanks for listening to it for 11 minutes or so, because this is important. And I'm going to teach you more steps and get more besides just finger tap and breathing. Give yourself a chance. We're going to learn some skills together. But at first, it's going to be tough. But I want you to write down what you love and what your superpowers. Even if your mind says you're not that good, if you love it, you don't have to be good at it to love it. But if you love it, you'll have the energy to stick with it and to bring you some joy. So write that down. And if you're willing to check out another video, I'm going to get more in detail on this mindfulness stuff and how to train ourselves. And on compassion, meaning how to care about ourselves like a good friend. How not to beat ourselves up when we screw up. Because you can't beat yourself up in order to change it. It'll work for a minute, but it won't last. So take care. Next time we're going to talk about more of this stuff. And again, thank you for making it this long. Being ADD, it's sort of tough for me to focus this long too. Take care.